Ladies and gentlemen, it's your man Jeremy Hassel and the Gakcity.com team had a chance to hear India Arie's newest album, and you know we support real music. And this video you're watching right here, it's her latest single called Chocolate High featuring Music Soul Child. Now, if you guys want some soul for your iPod, make sure you pick up India's newest album, Testimony Volume 2, Love and Politics. Talking about politics, my man Mark Ronson went from DJ to producer to Grammys, having a record label, and we interviewed him 3 years ago before all that. That's the footage you're seeing here. And then now we caught up with him to find out how he went from regular guy to superstar in the making. Let's find out what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here next to greatness because right next to me is Grammy Award winning. How does that feel when people say that about you?
I mean, I got to, not to sound jaded, but I've gotten a little bit used to it, but I never get used to the fact of, like, you know, you make music and you hope one day you put out a record people will like, and then at the very end of that tunnel is this thing that maybe you'll get like an award, and especially like a Grammy. So it's weird, but at the end of the day, it's just a piece of metal and it doesn't change anything. I still have the same fire and thing to make music every morning and make sure that I keep evolving and working with great people. So the Grammy thing is cool, but it's what it is. It's just one thing. It's a little nod of achievement for one thing you did, and you want to keep moving.
That's a great perspective, because most people, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mark Ronson, if you don't know. They get the Grammy, they change their name, they change their number. You can't see them anymore, you don't know what's going on. And what you did, what I saw, is you turned around and even worked harder since that's happened. So let's talk about, I want to go back to before. How would you even make a transition from successful DJ to successful producer?
I guess even the times when I was producing, making a name for myself, producing in New York nightclubs, I still was always producing beats. Like, and I always had a little studio in my bedroom or whatever. And I thought, like, I wasn't like bitter, like one day people will hear my song. But I was hanging out and there were guys like Pharrell and Kanye and even Danger Mouse that knew me as a DJ, and their stars as producers were just rising and rising. I used to be like, God, I know they're really nice and they think I'm a good DJ, but one day I'd like to be known as being a producer in their circle as well. And then I think I stopped trying to focus on like making stuff for the club or things that I thought would be trendier of the moment, because as a DJ it's hard to do that sometimes because you're playing other people's music so much all night. And I just thought I was going to do stuff that I thought was honest and genuine, and I was lucky enough to meet a few artists like Lily Allen, Ryan Fest, Amy Whinehouse, Daniel Merriweather, that we both had enough musical bond to go ahead and do that, you know. And I think that's when I started making stuff that I think struck a chord with other people because it felt good to me.
That's great. And after you made the Amy Winehouse album Back to Black, did you think it was going to do what it did?
No, of course not, because I'd never had any success before that really anyway. And Amy and I were just sitting in a room, and there was, you know, we both had this common love of sort of 60s jukebox pop girl groups, Motown, and kind of took Amy's songs and put them in that framework. And no, and especially even when it did well in America, which always seems like America's like the last place for anything cool and slightly left field to work. So it was really surprising. But I guess every now and then, once a year, you get one record that breaks through. Before that was Gnarls Barkley. It was Hey Ya the year before that. Each year gets its one left field record. I wish there were 5. Like, I wish there were 10 every year, you know, because it's so good for music and creativity and being inspired by other people around it, knowing there are other people doing different stuff.
I see. And have you spoken to Amy? You guys going to work on number 2, or what's going on with that?
I'm not sure. We haven't really spoken. I mean, when I see her, there's ideas, but until she has 10 songs and she's like, I'm ready to go in the studio, that I don't really, you know, try and think about it too much.
Right now, let me talk to you about, now let's go the transition from successful DJ, successful producer, and now record label, All I Do Records. What's the vision behind this label?
I think it was just, I was working with a lot of talented artists when I was working on my first record, Ryan Fest and Daniel Merriweather namely. And I just saw these guys that were really talented and needed maybe help getting like a leg up, pause. And I just thought that it would be cool to do, I could help these guys get to the vision. And then I was like, well, really what we're doing is kind of like becoming a bit of a farm team and a sort of like minor league for stuff. And we're like, I talked to my partner Rich, I said, let's make it a label. Do you want to go in and do this? And the only thing that's important to me is, it's, of course you want to sell records and it is a business, but I just want to be surrounded by creative people that I know I can help out a bit, and they inspire me, and that are unique in the way that there's no one else there that sounds like that. There's no one that sounds like Wale, there's no one sounds like the Rumblestrips, no one sounds like Ryan Fest, no one sounds like Daniel Merriweather. I mean, there's shades of people and all that. Nobody's like sitting there making avant-garde noise pop that, you know. But the fact is, at the end of the day, you want to have people that are artists that the only competition is really themselves. They're unique at what they do, and they're really good at it.
When's the last time you were starstruck? Someone came in the room and you got quiet, and you were like, you felt yourself a little bit off.
I did a couple times actually, and then people that were really sweet and nice to me, but a little bit starstruck around Jack White and Slash the other day.
Where did you see Slash? That's a good one.
I just saw him out, and I was in LA. I saw him out, and he was like, oh, he told me he liked my album, he liked the Radiohead cover, it was so bizarre, and I was just like such a fanboy.
It's amazing. I mean, he's an incredible producer. He has an amazing skill at surrounding himself by incredibly talented people as well, like the Dap Kings and musicians who kind of like. He's a really good collaborator, and he always has an amazing vision of the end product.
What's next for you now? You had Version, which was a great success and an amazing album. Congratulate you on that. What's next for you?
I'm just finished Daniel Merriweather's record. I produced the record for this English group, the Kaiser Chiefs, that comes out next week, and Wale's album and Rhymefest's album, and going in the studio with the Rumblestrips next month. So that's kind of keeping me busy. That's
running now. Before I let you go, last thing, because guys, he's busy, he's running. What made you want to work with Wale?
I heard a demo of his on my radio show, and someone had sent it in, and people. I always get my music together Friday last minute before I do my radio show, and I forget to label stuff, and I played this song. I thought it was amazing, and I played it again on the radio, and I was like, if anyone knows what this is, please write in, because it's on my computer, but I just don't have it labeled. And his manager, Dan, called, and he goes, hi, I manage this artist Wale, you played his song Good Girls on the radio last night. So he came to the studio, and we just started working together. He came on tour with us in the UK, and I love, he's so clever, and he's a brilliant rapper, and he's got so much style and charisma, and he's young, and he's just everything that sort of used to excite me about hip-hop when I was growing up, now funneled through like a new artist for this generation.